come a few miles up Bon Carbo Canyon, County Road 57.7, and up here, there after the pavement ends, there's an old post office. And the properties, you can go to different properties to the right and to the left. Today we'll be going to the left right at the old post office. Okay, we're going to show the video driving up Bon Carbo Canyon. What we call it is the name. It's actually 57.7 on the road sign. And I've got county maps I can share with you. I'll be showing the drive going up Bon Carbo Canyon here. So, and then it'll be added to different properties. So I'll give you pictures of the canyon as we drive up. And this pavement goes for, I don't know, about 8-9 miles. A long ways up the canyon, and the county keeps throwing more pavement down every couple of years. So that makes it real nice. That turn right there we just took, we took it at the town of Cokedale, Colorado. It's about 7 miles west on Highway 12 out of Trinidad, Colorado. The properties we're going to, a lot of them are pretty close to the 4,400, 4,700 acre wildlife area, which is really neat. Great hunting, great elevation, 7,000 to 8,000 foot max on the properties. And they're only, most of these properties up this road are only about 25 minutes from town. Sprinkling a little bit from these high cirrus clouds, or whatever you call them. It might rain later this afternoon. We're in that time of year. This is early spring. It's pretty driving up this canyon. You start to see the West Spanish Peak in the background, or in the foreground, whatever background. It looks about that big, maybe a little bit bigger. The video camera shows everything a little bit smaller. We're about to leave the pavement coming up Bon Carbo Canyon, County Road 57.7. There's the volunteer fire department firehouse. It's a good marker when you're driving up. And then right up here, we're going to stay left right after the pavement ends and go further up on, I believe it turns into County Road 30.1, and go up further into the hills here to look at properties along this road. And there's other ways you can get to these properties too. You don't have to come up this road, but this is basically, for most of them, this is the shortest way. So here's the old post office on the left. And we're just gonna keep going straight. Okay, we've come a little bit further up after taking a left at the post office, up County Road 30.1, I believe we're on now. And if you take a right there, that goes into a ranch called Spanish Highlands. We're not going to that one today. May go to it next time. I think it was 40.5 that takes you into Spanish Highlands. We're going to be driving through. This is county maintained year-round road. They plow it and everything. This is a pretty shot right here. It's one of the best in the area when you're just driving around. Those are the Sangre de Cristo Mountains to the west. We're headed west right now, and they look again about that big. You can see a lot of the rain. Okay, come around this little turn. We're still on 30.1. If you take a left right here, that'll take you back down to Highway 12. That's 53.5. And there's Spanish Highland tracks. They're 5 and 10 acre tracks on our left and on our right. Okay, we came up Bon Carbo Canyon, and now we stayed left at the post office. We're on County Road 30.1. After we come around this bend up here, we're going to come to the State Wildlife Area sign, or you can take a right and go up into there, or you can continue on County Road 30.1 and end up in La Garita. That's 5 and 10 acre ranch subdivision. And you can work your way back down to Highway 12 down Sarcillo Canyon once you hit La Garita. So all these roads can just kind of intertwine. Okay, come around this little turn here. We're coming to the State Wildlife sign. And if we go left, that'll take us further into Oh, LDS subdivision, Lagarita, and you go back to Highway 12 like I was saying. And this is the Spanish Peaks wildlife area, one of the roads you can get to it. 4,700 acres worth. Okay, we came from that direction, come up Bon Carbo where the road turned into County Road 30.1. We're at the Spanish Peaks wildlife sign. When you see that Spanish Peaks wildlife sign, just stay left, and then we're going to head up and look at some properties further up this road. And it's called LDS is the subdivision. They're 40-acre tracts, and there are we turn in at a gas compressor site and then follow the road back up into LDS from the gas compressor site off of this road. There's different ways you can get to these tracks. You don't have to drive the Bon Carbo road. You can come up Sarcillo Canyon. It'll be a little bit shorter, but this drive sure is pretty. Those are the West and East Spanish Peak again, and they look about that big when you're driving here. We're still on County Road 30.1, and we passed the wildlife sign back there a little bit, and here in about another mile we're going to take a right and head back up into LDS subdivision. Okay, we're just staying on Bon Carbo Canyon Road. We're going to take a right up here to go this 40-acre tract in LDS, and come up the little switchback here. And there's actually a shorter way to get here, but I was driving past the wildlife area to show you how close that is. You have less dirt road coming from this other direction. Up Sarcillo Canyon. We'll get to the top of this hill and we're going to take a right here. And I'll be showing you of course more pictures as we drive up through here to get to this okay, we took that right turn. You come to this juncture, you'll see a slow sign. There's a compressor station that way, and it's like a four-way here. We're going to take a hard left, and hopefully this is the right way to get here. The gas wells maintain these roads. This used to be just a two-track road, and there's not a lot of gravel on some sections of this. Four-wheel drive during the winter, during the rest of the year, you know, the gas companies will smooth this road out, and so I'd say about 80% of the year this road's pretty easy to travel. Okay, yeah, we're making it this 40 acres. Everything on your left is a part of this 40 acres. Yeah, tremendous mountain views. The land goes down slope down in here, and a little bit of it is on this side as well. You can see the Spanish Peaks and the Sangre de Cristos like nobody's business. I'd say it's pretty gentle going down through the land, and there's power across the bottom portion of this land, and be a good place to pull it from and bring it right up here, not very far at all. And we're coming to, so everything over here on the right, on the left, this is looking west, is a part of the road. A lot of wildlife and animals in this area. And now we're getting right here. You see this right-hand turn is, oh, get the aerial, sorry. That right-hand turn turns right here off, it's just off, we just crossed the boundary line, so we're a little close. We've gone a little bit far and we're off of the property. So I'm gonna turn back around and come back into here, this area, and then hike around a little bit and then fly my drone over the entire property. Top part of the map is north, this is west, and the topo it shows, you know, it just goes downhill gradually, And there's power down here at this portion, crossing the corner of the property down here. You have to cut trees and stuff, but you can pull power right up to the top for the views and everything. So I'm gonna turn around. This right-hand turn goes to a gas well. Oh, wait a minute. There's power right there. So there's power up here on the top. Yep, power right up here on the top. So you don't have to pull it anywhere. Yeah, it's right above me too. I guess I should open my eyes. Just turn around and take a little hike around. You can see all the way back to Fisher's Peak to turn to add that direction. Of course, this is off the property like I was showing you on the aerial. And about right where that power line is at, actually here's a stake marker, so we're just getting on to the northern boundary of the property. So everything on the right here, and the road only cuts through you can see on the aerial. Now we're driving this direction. We're going like this. It came from the gas well right there, and it makes this curve. So it only cuts through a small portion, the corner of this upper portion of the property, and a good portion you can see goes back up in here. Each of these lines, this is a quarter section, so each of these lines are 1,320 feet long on this 40 acres. Yeah, I'm gonna stop right in here. Like I say, there is a ton of wildlife up in here. Well, you can see all the way to Taos Mountain in New Mexico. Let's see, one more thing I guess I should show. We got this is north where the gas well was, where we just turned around and came back. We're about right here right now in the middle of the property on top. And on the topo map, the top of the map is north, and that road that we're on right now cuts through about right through here like this. And you can see these topo lines are really wide. I can see treetops as it goes down really well. And I'm just gonna hike along the top here and maybe over in this side a little bit, get off the road, and then I'm gonna fly my drone over the entire property. About halfway on the road that cuts through the northeastern part of the property, and you can see, like I say, Taos Mountain way over there to the southwest this direction. So it's south is here, and you can look west and you can see to the north the Spanish Peaks that direction. This is a gentle track. I can see the trees dropping off down through here, real gentle through it. You can see that on the topo maps. When you're standing here, I think the video camera doesn't show, like I've been saying, very well the true size of the views. Look at Sangres look about that big when you're standing here. With some trees knocked down, you can see the whole range of Cachara Pass over there as well. And then there's Wheeler Peak in New Mexico. Taos, New Mexico is right below that. Yeah, we just came from that direction. Truck's not that far away, and like I was saying, the views are only getting a bit better as I move south away from the road. And there's this nice treat area with these big boulders over here. Probably a really cool spot for something. And you can see the valley. It's not real steep going down through this property. And yeah, the views are big. Power's on the, like I showed you, just off the property, but along the access road, so you can pull power. But take this spot over here looking pretty good. Probably take about 3 poles. $2,100 a pole. We're about 25 minutes from town here. Very close to the wildlife area too. About 4 or 5 miles back down the road that we came in on. I showed you that on that drive coming up from Bonfire. If you look down through this valley, all this oak brush is really short. That's because the deer and the elk are munching on it all the time. Otherwise, you wouldn't be able to walk through it. So the road is just up there above us, about 75 feet or so. You wouldn't have much to get in here to do a road for a nice build site. Yeah, you could make four-wheeler trails all through this thing if you wanted to. This is a neat area. Yeah, this would probably be a good spot. These nice boulders and sandstone formations. The road's only about 75 feet that way. Mountain views from through the trees, everything where I'm walking right now. And this is south into New Mexico this direction. And this would be the spot right here probably. Or maybe right down in there. It's a nice area. That would make you real private and just open you up to all the mountain views. Looking south, good southern exposure, and you can see Fisher's Peak over Trinidad this direction. Pretty gentle land rolling through in here. I can see the road back over that way. So you could come in here, right down here, and that'd be a real nice spot right down there. It's a big flat area, and you're gonna get all the Sangre de Cristo views. You might even see the Spanish Peaks to the north a little bit. You see how gentle it runs down through here, right through in here. It's nice, and there's no there's covenants but no POA, and there's never a POA or HOA formed, so there's no dues, and people do pretty much what they want to on their land, just obviously within county regulations. You have one home and one guest home and as many outbuildings as you want. Let's walk up here. We're gonna walk there. Walk up back to the road, and I'm gonna walk back to the truck and fly my drone over the property and try to stay as close as I can over all the boundaries and the land. Yeah, all this oak brush is just mowed down. The road's a little rough when you first come up. I'd only say for about a half mile, quarter mile. Ouch. Gas company takes care of it. This is the high spot. This is part of the property too on this side. But there's not very much property over here on this side. But you sure can see the Spanish Peaks. The Sangres from here. So if you want to be right on the road and get those views, you circle around, you can see the north. You almost have 360 views from this side. And the East Spanish Peak, good view too. And again, it looks about that big when you're standing here.